Well, hello, folks. I'm up at 7 o'clock in the morning on Friday. Cheers. Did I just hear my phone? Oh, my goodness, already. Thank you, people. It's Bandcamp Friday. People are already responding because I uploaded the new release 5-song EP or 5-track EP by myself and Otis 12. The clock is ticking. It's already selling. Thank you, and I here's the cover. I'm going to insert it right here. Happy with how the project has gone and the collaboration with not only Douglas but Aaron Gum. I love the cover graphics that he came up with for us. Besides the Otis 12, I have several releases on my Bandcamp site that are in physical form, but all of it is available digitally. And you should have some of my music in your collection. You should. Especially this new piece, The Clock is Ticking. It's very timely. Douglas / Otis 12's words are succinct. He's a good writer. He's a wise, woke man. So, before I show some records, recap yesterday, I did go over to James Quato's studio and started on this process because that's what it turned. I had to find out exactly what shape I'm in because I don't have drums to play. So my biggest challenge is going to be to be able to lay down a nice consistent track. We did some recording yesterday, and nothing that can be used. The biggest challenge was to go ahead and use a click track, and that's a challenge, especially when you don't play all the time. But we're gonna go back to it. Excuse me, next week or the week after, and I appreciate James Quatso as a friend and also a musical collaborator that he is opening up his space in his studio to me. While I was there, he was showing me. He shared with me the whole ordeal of deciding to quit the Josh Hoyer Soul Colossal Band. And I applaud him because it's overdue for him to focus on his own music. He played me part of a 25-minute piece of music he has been working on. It doesn't sound like anything I've ever heard before. Stream of conscious, very psychedelic, very weird, very cool. So that happened yesterday. Along with getting the word from Atomic Disc that after an adjustment that needed to be made on the cover, front and back, to fit their dimensions correctly, I got the word that the CD will go into production, and I could have it in literally by this time next week, possibly in a week's time, or more realistically, more like within the next 10 days. That's still a wonderful turnaround. And I love the cover image of Doug and myself. And I love seeing the physical copies. So looking forward to that very, very much. Cheers, people. Besides me, show your support to independent artists. Bandcamp is still a very viable platform for finding music and for artists sharing their music. So, put a general shout out to all people who could benefit from sales on Bandcamp today. So, yesterday, after the studio session with James, you bet, went back down to Grapefruit to get some records for my trade-in value, and also because I picked up more out of the used section from what used to be Almost Music. Only spent $20 more because the trade-in value was good, and very pleased with what I got. I haven't listened to everything because I was busy yesterday. Good business. Had a nice visit with David. I love that guy. He is, but both he and Simon are funny. While I was down there, they were both there for a while, and then Simon had something to do. But the banter between those two, and then I couldn't help but get involved. It's just silly and good fun, good clean fun. Great people. So what did I get yesterday? I did get a chance to listen to a bit of this. Really pleased with everything. I didn't no bummers. Jean Guerin, Tacit. Jean plays bass, darbuka. Okay, excuse me. I listened to some of this, and this is like, oh my goodness, this is so cool. This goes back to the 70s. These releases on the Souffle Contenu Futura label on gray vinyl. It's pretty. This is not free jazz. This is it's its own thing, and that's what I loved about what was happening in the 60s and the 70s was the emergence of new ideas, the sense of freedom that was going about in music and art. So there's elements of what you could call free jazz on here, but there's also things that are just, I don't know, well, wow. It's like, wow, this is like first time this was probably first time this was ever done on this record. It's very cool. Very cool. Love stuff like that. Yeah, I showed this from the day before, but listened to more of this last night. This is this portion of my interest in music, I would label it as stuff that is deep listening material. In other words, it's a sort of stuff that you can get lost in, and it's repeated listens bear positive fruit. So here's another one from the Futura reissues, or no, just Souffle Contenu, because maybe this was on a different label when it first came out. But I bought 3 records by this group, just knowing, I said, okay, I don't know that I knew about them before, but I can see that this is good, and it is. Dharma. Archipel is the name of this album. They put out 4 albums as Dharma, Dharma Trio, and Dharma Quintet. I got 3 of the 4. They They had 3 of the 4 at Grapefruit. This is great stuff. And as the book, I got 3 of these albums, reissues, and they all come with this book, which covers all 4 of the records that were reissued, that they put out, the 4 records they put out. And these guys weren't pretenders. They were, as the story explains in here, they were as much inspired by the 1978 Paris riots, I got that right, as much as anything. And these folks were doing it up. They lived together commune style for a while. Members coming and going, but the music being the central focus. And this is good. This is not pretend. This is not pretend, and it's not trying to be like anyone else. I mean, you can make references to stuff like Ornette Coleman, Sun Ra even, but there's a brashness and also a rock sort of element to the energy and the approach that they take on to this album. It's not straight free jazz. Matter of fact, it's either this one or one of the other ones where they do a couple of short pieces that are maybe like 2 minutes long, and it's like, wow, that was really cool. Sorry about the color. The color of the yellowishness bothers me. Probably doesn't bother any of y'all. I just hate how the... Oh well. Have to get another camera eventually. Dharma. Yeah. Now here's another one that was down there that at first I wasn't that thinking I wasn't going to get it. And then I looked it up a little bit. And it's like, okay, yeah, this goes home with me. The Full Moon Ensemble featuring Claude Delclue, Crowded with Loneliness. This is not a Souffle Contenu. This is Superfly Records. Came out, reissued in 2013. This originally came out on CBS of all things. So when I looked it up on Discogs, originals of this on the CBS label go for around $600. This, again, some of the members of Dharma play on this, but this doesn't sound nothing like Dharma. This is more of a kind of a scrappy version of the early modal thing that Miles Davis really pioneered to my ears with Bitches Brew. But also there's a female vocalist on here, and she's very passionate. It's in French, so I'm not sure what she's going on about. But it brought to mind Catherine Ribeiro. If you've heard her, how her vocals and her approach is very emotional and passionate. And I wouldn't be surprised if the young lady on here was influenced by Catherine Ribeiro's work. And this is good. It's also a really nice package. And apparently this is the label, another label that Claude Delclue. Claude Delclue was one of the people who started the big label, the BYG label. He's on, I have him on that label. But this is also a pastiche of what the old CBS label looked like in Europe, or in the UK for sure. So, only listen to the first side of this. Once again, big thumbs up. Big thumbs up. Here's another one of the Dharma records I got. This one is Dharma Quintet. End Starting. This is the one I was thinking of, where there's some... No, I'm wrong. It's just that this is so good. I've only listened to them, once. I think you can tell by the graphics that this is not playing around. This is really good stuff. Dharma Quintet. I still have yet to really get into these, but I got them home. And this one I listened to all the way through because I knew Luigi Nono. Avant-garde composer. This is intense. It's got the entire explanation. One of the pieces on here is dedicated to Pierre Boulez, who I've met. I have a selfie of me and Pierre Boulez, of all things. This is intense. This is no playing around. And I had to read about the pieces here. There's 3 different pieces. And he explains that his approach to sound and the use of electronics with natural instruments is very much connected with sound acoustic spaces. So you can hear the room, pardon me, or the space that these recordings were made in, because that's part of his approach, which is sound is alive and it has character that is partially shaped once it's let loose into the atmosphere. You know, the movement of the air, literally, you know, it's part of the composition. This is startling in places. You know, it's a mixture of orchestral instruments and electronics. And he does things where it's real quiet and all of a sudden it's a burst of screaming, intense electronic pulses and sine waves. Whoa, this is no playing around. This is deep listening. This was compelling. I had to listen to the whole thing. It was like, damn. I love stuff like that. I do. Another one I got, which is 3 different artists, 3 different pieces, so I haven't listened to them all. But the one that I listened to is like, this is my shit. I love stuff like this. The release, it goes under the title Inventionen. 3 different composer artists, Takahito Shimatsu, Rolf Enstrom, and Boguslaw Schaefer. So I listened to the Shimizu Zytoplasma. He explains what he's doing here. Damn. It's translated on the inside in English. But the Rolf Engstrom, I started to listen to, and I was immediately intrigued by. He's an instrument maker as well. So I looked him up on the internet, on YouTube, and found a performance video of him performing with this instrument that he invented called orb. It's like, okay, that's something I've never seen before. Literally, this glass ball with something inside of it, and he's playing it similar to theremin, where it's activated by his hands and proximity. Then you push a button over here, and then the timbres change. This is such cool stuff. I love it. I love it. And a jazz artist who I haven't really shown much here, but he's in my collection, and for good reason. Newhall Richard Abrams, and this is a octet, View from Within. I just noticed it's got that shitty side sticker that if you try to take it off, you know, it could ruin the cover. So this is the sort of stuff where these people were very vital in their playing, their ideas, and the settings they would put together to make the music happen. This is really, really wonderful. Marty Ehrlich is on here, Warren Smith, Ray Mantilla, Stanton Davis, John Purcell. There's Raymond C. Usually I'm up shortly after this. Raymond, I don't know where he goes. He doesn't work a job. I don't, but most days of the week, he's up and out. I admire my cousin at 81 years old. He's still kicking it. Still kicking. View from within. This ain't no messing around. Wonderful, wonderful stuff. Wonderful. So I had an album by this band, and when these showed up back at Almost Music, they all looked interesting. The one that I ended up buying, last time I listened to it was kind of so-so, but I knew that there had to be something about this band, so I picked this one up. Kohelmic Ensemble, 5th of October 1974. Double album, live. Okay, yeah. This is the deal. Improvisation, really, really wonderful communication between the musicians. I love those old pictures of people playing. Yeah, the guitar player on here is a wonderful feature. Doesn't play like anybody else. That's the other thing that's wonderful about this music. This is the French. These are French musicians, or based out of France, okay? And they're not copycatting. Look at this. Look at the picture. You can see. They're doing it for real. This was a whole different bag than the other Kohelmic Ensemble album that I already had, which causes me to say, okay, I need to revisit that one with fresh ears, because this is intense. This is good. Kohelmic Ensemble. The end of the 60s and the beginning of the 70s was a really potent time. I'm seeing here that I'm not going to show everything because I want to get this video online soon, and I actually have only gotten to half of what I got yesterday. Like I said, the prices on these were very, very attractive. I mean, a lot of these were only 15 bucks or 20 bucks, you know. Here's one where I hesitated at first because it's a picture disc, but I'm glad I bought it because this is the only version of this. This is not a reissue. This is it. SBOTHI, which stands for something. I'd have to look it up again for you. I became aware of SBOTHI from exploring industrial music. And this is awesome. SBOTHI and SLPO17 selection. Woolshide is the man's name. And this actually plays rather well for a picture disc, but it's hard to describe because it's that stuff where it's people, it's like the lid is off the pot and they are exploring and creating with sound unbridled. So this was like, man, I love stuff like this. It also inspires me to try new things. Okay. I'll show more what I bought in the next video. But I also want to share that I've gone back. This isn't just gonna sit at my house. I put this on really to listen to the remastered version of the album itself, Landlines Down on Broadway. Masterpiece, freaking masterpiece of an album. Really well engineered for the time. My only, I'd boost the bass, the low end, which we learned over time that you can have a bigger booming low end than engineers originally thought for many years. Lamb Lies Down is an absolute classic album. I want to stop here. I want to again encourage folks, please support, find out about my music. I could play something right now, but you can listen to any of the music on the Bandcamp site streaming. But myself, and I'll speak for other independent artists, we appreciate your support and we need it, especially in these times when free speech is under attack. We're under attack by our president. He calls us the enemy. He's the enemy. So, Bandcamp Friday, please. Check out the new one. The clock is ticking. Check out Otis's words, okay? Family, I love you. They've been in contact about all this madness. Okay, the music saves, art saves. I saw hello from Chile. Someone from Chile says hello. Much love to all of you, okay?